distinctly Canadian signs were seen at the Women's March on Washington. Even though local protests were held in more than 30 cities north of the border, busloads of Canadians felt compelled to go all the way to D.C. Marissa McTasney was one of the key organizers. What got you going? Why did you get involved in this?
I got involved for a couple of reasons. I have a daughter, and so with the rhetoric and the language of the election, I'm really nervous. There's a high increase of sexual assaults with young women, and I shouldn't be nervous to send my daughter to university. So that's the number one reason. And then the second is I'm a businesswoman, and so I have a global business, and our relations are very important between all countries, but specifically in America. And women are underrepresented in the business community, and so I think we need to build better alliances, and the prosperity of women is an absolute imperative.
Are you a seasoned activist? Have you been doing this for
I have never done this before.
Really?
And this really gave me an opportunity to get involved and stand up. I think a lot of women have protested and done this march for the first time in their lives because it was enough. And just like President Obama, when he gave his final address, said, it's hard work. It doesn't take one election to solve all the problems. And so, you know, if Hillary had won, it wouldn't have done the same thing. So it's constant work and challenge that we need to move forward.
What will you remember from the march?
You know, the American women, when they saw us coming in, we had red toques, and most of them were wearing pink hats. So when they saw the red and they saw our sign, we held up our maple leaf high, they were shouting and screaming and hugging us and crying. There was a lot of tears. They couldn't even get the words out to express how meaningful it was for women. We had 600 women traveling to the United States, sleeping on buses for 24 hours to march with our American sisters. And so a lot of gratitude was shown towards us.
A lot of comments about Donald Trump being sexist. Our prime minister likes to all the time call himself a feminist.
Yes.
Is it the same concern for Canadian women?
Absolutely. And I think this was enough is enough. And there are a lot of misrepresentations and underrepresentations of women. And so due to this election, it's a real time for us to say enough is enough and make the changes that we need to see.
One of the big fears among feminists in the States is that abortion will be made a crime again.
Yes.
Are you worried about that here?
Absolutely. The health and safety of women has to be a priority.
But we don't see anyone talking about bringing it back here.
No, not yet. And I think that that's great. And so we also need to continue to challenge our democratic society so that we maintain those standards.
I was reading that there was a lot of collecting of data, that there's a database being amassed from the women who were at that march.
Yes.
So what happens now? What's the focus?
I think up to this point, it's been an awareness and a real global solidarity march. But now it's a call to action. So we have to take all these pillars of concerns, whether it's environmental or pro-life or pro-choice or women in business, we have to take a closer look at the policies that need to be changed. So on our website, CanadianWomenMarch.ca, on our media page, we do have a call to action letter that you can draft and edit and share it with your local government officials so we can have the conversations start and continue and make the changes we need to see.
Something to keep an eye on. Thanks so much, Marissa.
Thank you for having me.